Welcome back. And I'm genuinely thrilled you're joining us for what promises to be, well, one of the most astonishing episodes we've ever put together.
Yeah.
We're venturing into a truly monumental part of spiritual history today, Chapter 11, and I can assure you, you're in for an experience that's both profound and deeply insightful.
That's right. We've journeyed through many profound philosophical and spiritual insights in the preceding chapters, haven't we? Delving into the nature of existence, the self, the divine.
Mm-hmm.
Arjuna has heard Krishna's wisdom, understood, the intricate dance of creation and dissolution, and recognized Krishna's imperishable glory. He believes what Krishna has revealed about himself absolutely and completely. But it's that intrinsic human desire for empirical observation, that craving for direct experience. He believed, yes, but he desired to see the truth for himself.
Yeah.
We often say seeing is believing, but for Arjuna, it's almost like believing demands seeing. He had taken Krishna at his word, absolutely, but there was still a part of him that just yearned for that undeniable visual proof.
That's right, Chapter 11 of the Bhagavad Gita, the Vishvarupa Darshana.
Vision of the universal form, composed by the great Maharishi Vedvyasa, most celebrated achievements in all of Sanskrit poetry.
And to start, to really set the stage for this divine revelation, maybe we can begin with a few lines.
Yes, let's.
Behold my hundreds, thousands manifold, of diverse hues and shapes, wonders untold. For in my body all the universe, both moving, unmoving, doth in one disperse. With mortal eyes thou canst not gaze on me, a divine eye I grant my might to see. Chapter 11, it's universally seen by scholars, by devotees, as just this absolute pinnacle of poetic brilliance.
It really is.
It shows the sheer power of Sanskrit to convey something almost beyond words. Honestly, if you were going to learn Sanskrit for just one reason, this chapter might be it.
The grandeur, the intensity.
Yes. The poetic force is just unparalleled.
And for those of us, well, most of us who haven't spent years mastering the language, a poetic ode like the one we'll draw from today is maybe one of the best ways in. It helps you access that depth, feel the impact.
Absolutely. And what makes this poetry so incredibly profound, I think, isn't just that it's beautiful language, it's that it's describing reality itself. Not our usual view of reality, of course, but reality seen through, divine eyes.
Which brings up that interesting connection you mentioned, the one with modern science.
Right. It reminds me of that fundamental drive in science for experimental proof, that whole show me the proof principle.
Okay, how so?
Well, think about it. In science, you can have the most elegant theories, beautiful map, everything fitting together perfectly.
Right.
But ultimately, what do scientists want? They want direct observation.
And you're saying that's sort of where Arjuna is at this point.
Exactly. Arjuna's heard it all. Incredibly detailed stuff.
And Arjuna even says his delusion is gone, right? His ignorance is dispelled.
He does, explicitly.
There's still something missing for him.
There's still that very human, maybe even spiritual yearning. He's understood it here, points to head, but he wants to experience it directly, tangibly.
Like the difference between reading about music and actually hearing it live, that direct experience.
Yeah.
It just hits differently.
It changes everything. It grounds the abstract truth. So Arjuna's request isn't coming from doubt or skepticism. It's more like that scientific impulse. You have the theory, you have the math, but you still crave the direct observation, the empirical fact.
So in a way, this Vedic approach shares that principle with the modern scientific method, that need for experiential validation, even in spiritual matters.
I think so. That direct experience anchors the truth in a way nothing else quite can. And that's the shift Arjuna is longing for.
Okay. Now, for you listening this chapter,
find a quiet space, maybe.
Maybe listen on your morning walk. Just let the words wash over you, let the beauty sink in.
Or perhaps in the evening, just to quiet the mind after a busy day.
All right. I'm Satosha.
And I'm Satoshi.
Okay, let's begin then. We start with Arjuna's plea. This first part of the ode, it draws from the original Sanskrit verses 11.1 through 11.4, and it really captures that deep human longing for direct experience.
Hark, Lord of Lotus Eyes, my mind now clear. Your secret wisdom, true, has quelled all fear of beings' rise and their profound decay, and your imperishable glory heard alway. Yourself supreme is truth, the warrior cried, but fain would I behold with open wide thy divine majestic form if it may be, if such a sight is possible for me.
Lord of Lotus Eyes, my mind now clear, your secret wisdom true has quelled all fear of beings' rise and their profound decay, and your imperishable glory heard alway. Yourself supreme is truth, the warrior cried. But fain would I behold with open wide thy divine majestic form, if it may be, if such a sight is possible for me. What's truly compelling there, I think, is Arjuna's profound humility. He doesn't demand, he asks if it may be, acknowledging the immense power he's asking to witness. He calls Krishna the master of yoga, which isn't just a title, you know.
Yeah.
It's an acknowledgement that such a vision wouldn't be a mere optical trick. He's not asking for a magic show. He's asking for a profound transformative experience, an internal shift that allows him to perceive what is otherwise, well, imperceptible. Ultimate communion, really. Of beings rise and their profound decay, and your imperishable glory heard alway. Yourself supreme is truth, the warrior cried, but fain would I behold with open wide thy divine majestic form, if it may be, if such a sight is possible for me.
And Krishna's response, immediate, overwhelming, utterly world-changing for Arjuna.
Definitely. Overwhelming, utterly world-changing for Arjuna.
Oh, yes. This next part of the ode, covering verses 11.5 through 11.8, this is where Krishna starts to unveil that cosmic form.
Then Lord Sri Krishna, master of all might, did bid him gaze upon his forms of light. Behold my hundreds, thousands, manifold, of diverse hues and shapes, wonders untold. The Adityas, Vasus, Rudras mark them well, and unseen marvels where my glories dwell. For in my body all the universe, both moving, unmoving, doth in one disperse. With mortal eyes thou canst not gaze on me, a divine eye I grant, my might to see.
It's an explosion of divinity.
And he lists specific groups of deities, right?
The Adityas, the Vasus, the Rudras, the twin Ashvins, the Maruts, these aren't just names. They represent entire classes of cosmic forces. The 12 Adityas are linked to the solar months, cosmic principles. The 8 Vasus correspond to fundamental elements or energies. The 11 Rudras often symbolize vital energies, transformation, even destruction.
And the Ashvins and Maruts.
The 2 Ashvins represent duality, healing. The 49 Maruts, often seen in 7 groups of 7, symbolize natural forces like storms and winds. Basically, these 33 principal gods, Adityas, Vasus, Rudras, Ashvins, form the core Vedic pantheon plus the Maruts. And Krishna says, see them all in me, the divine.
Behold my hundreds, thousands manifold, of diverse hues and shapes, wonders untold. The Adityas, Vasus, Rudras, mark them well, and unseen marvels where my glories dwell. For in my body all the universe, both moving, unmoving, doth in one disperse. With mortal eyes thou canst not gaze on me, a divine eye I grant, my might to see. This concept of the divine eye, it's incredibly significant, isn't it? And it's much more than just, you know, a supernatural enhancement of physical sight, like suddenly getting super goggles or something.
Right. It's the necessary instrument, a whole new way of perceiving, tuned to the divine frequency that's beyond our normal human limits, a fundamental shift in consciousness, an expanded faculty of perception.
Okay. Like telescopes, microscopes, particle accelerators.
Or even new kinds of math. Those tools are like new eyes.
A complete internal shift that unlocks external, or maybe better put, transcendental vision. Think of it this way. Every time we achieve a new insight, a new level of understanding in any field, science, art, relationships, whatever, we simultaneously kind of develop or gain the capacity for new tools to test that idea, to observe its reality.
Interesting.
Like our mental model gets updated, right?
Right.
Which then allows us to see things that were always there, but were just, well, invisible to our limited framework before. The divine eye is the ultimate tool, you could say, granted through grace, to perceive a reality that is utterly beyond normal human comprehension.
So it's an internal revolution that allows for an external revelation.
Exactly. That's a great way to put it. An internal revolution unlocking an external or transcendental revelation. But how does Krishna give him these eyes so fast? It seems instantaneous in the text.
That question goes right to the heart of who Krishna is. As the chapter reveals later, very explicitly, he is time itself, the great destroyer.
Time itself.
When Krishna is engaged in his visarga, his divine cosmic activity, his creative and destructive play, well, the rules of time can bend to his will.
Let's hear that stanza again, thinking about that gift, the nature of time, and that incredible divine power.
Behold my hundreds, thousands manifold of diverse hues and shapes, wonders untold. For in my body all the universe, both moving, unmoving, doth in one disperse. With mortal eyes thou canst not gaze on me, a divine eye I grant, my might to see.
Okay, so Arjuna now has the divine eye. He's equipped to see. But interestingly, the way the vision unfolds for us, the listeners or readers, isn't directly through Arjuna's perspective, is it?
No, that's a great point. The narration actually comes through Sanjaya. This next part, covering verses 11.9 through 11.13, is narrated by Sanjaya. Remember, he's back at the palace reporting everything happening on the battlefield in real time to the blind king Dhritarashtra.
Right. So this framing device lets us receive the description through a kind of objective observer.
Exactly. It adds another layer to the experience.
Then Sanjaya to Dhritarashtra told how Lord Hari, his supreme form unrolled, with countless mouths and eyes, a wondrous sight, adorned with gems and weapons gleaming bright, with garlands sweet and fragrant robes arrayed, limitless, all-faced, a divine parade. If thousand suns in heavens burst forth bright, their combined radiance barely matched that light. Therein Arjuna saw the world entire, unified within the Lord's transcendent fire.
It anchors us, reminds us it's a real-time report. And what a report! With countless mouths and eyes, a wondrous sight, adorned with gems and weapons gleaming bright, with garlands sweet and fragrant robes arrayed, limitless, all faced a divine parade. If thousand suns in heavens burst forth bright, their combined radiance barely matched that light. Therein Arjuna saw the world entire, unified within the Lord's transcendent fire.
That suggests something everywhere at once, beyond any single viewpoint, no boundaries, infinite aspects. The divine isn't just omnipresent, but also omniperceiving and omniacting. There's no hidden corner, no unobserved experience. And that thousand suns analogy, it's absolutely critical. It isn't just about being incredibly bright. It's a metaphor for a truth so overwhelming, so intensely potent. Ultimate reality isn't just vast, it's blindingly real, challenging our very senses, our assumptions about what can even be seen or known. It's a kind of experience that, for Arjuna, just shatters his previous worldview, forces him to confront a scale of existence he couldn't have imagined. And yet, within this boundless, dazzling form, the entire diverse universe is seen unified in one place. This visually represents Krishna's omnipresence and the truth that he is the substratum of everything, holding all multiplicity within his singular self. It's the ultimate vision of cosmic unity.
The paradox of many in one. And after witnessing such an astounding display, while Arjuna's reaction is exactly what you might expect from a mortal grappling with the infinite.
There it is again. With countless mouths and eyes, a wondrous sight, adorned with gems and weapons gleaming bright, with garlands sweet and fragrant robes arrayed, limitless, all-faced, a divine parade. If thousand suns in heavens burst forth bright, their combined radiance barely matched that light. Therein Arjuna saw the world entire, unified within the Lord's transcendent fire. But this raises that question we touched on. If Krishna gave the divine eye only to Arjuna right then, how can Sanjaya, who's narrating this miles away, also see it?
That's a really crucial point for understanding how the narrative works. Sanjaya already had divine sight.
It wasn't a new gift at this moment from Krishna.
Exactly. He was blessed with this special ability, this boon, by the sage Vyasa.
Vyasa, the author of the Mahabharata, the compiler of the Vedas.
The very same. Vyasa gave Sanjaya this divya drishti, this divine vision, specifically so he could see and hear everything happening during the war, wherever it occurred, and narrate it accurately, in real time, to the blind king Dhritarashtra.
So it was a pre-existing ability granted for the purpose of the narration itself.
And here's a fascinating connection. Remember back in chapter 10, Krishna identifies himself with key figures and forces.
Right.
And he says, among sages, I am Vyasa.
So Vyasa himself is a manifestation of Krishna's glory.
Exactly. So, in a sense, the gift from Vyasa to Sanjaya is like an extension of Krishna's own divine power, enabling the epic's narration. It all connects beautifully.
It really does. It's interesting that role Sanjaya plays, this all-seeing narrator. You mentioned Bran Stark from Game of Thrones. Is there a parallel there?
Well, it's a fun comparison, maybe. Both have a kind of supernatural sight and serve a key narrative function, right? Sanjaya is the impartial observer, the real-time reporter. Bran becomes the repository of history, the witness. But their origins and scope are very different. Sanjaya's power is a divine gift for a specific purpose, narrating the war. Bran's is more like an inborn magical ability, tied to ancient forces, letting him see past, present, maybe future, and even influence things. Sanjaya is more passive, empathetic, but reporting, whereas Bran becomes quite detached, almost inhuman. Yeah. So parallels, yes, but very different flavors and functions.
Okay, let's just take a moment to absorb Sanjaya's incredible description of that boundless form.
Then Sanjaya to Dhritarashtra told How Lord Hari, his supreme form unrolled, with countless mouths and eyes a wondrous sight, adorned with gems and weapons gleaming bright, with garlands sweet and fragrant robes arrayed, limitless, all-faced, divine parade. If thousand suns in heavens burst forth bright, their combined radiance barely matched that light. Therein Arjuna saw the world entire, unified within the Lord's transcendent fire.
Okay, so Arjuna sees this unimaginable, limitless, blindingly radiant form containing everything. How does he react? What's the immediate gut response?
This next part of the ode, covering verses 11.14 through 11.17, dives right into that. It's his initial overwhelming sense of awe and astonishment.
Then, filled with awe, his hair stood on its end. Bowing with hands conjoined, his words did wend. O Lord, I see all gods within thy form, and Brahma, Shiva, sages through the storm, with countless arms and bellies, mouths and eyes, in infinite forms, no end nor middle lies. Crowned, mace and disgust-bearing, effulgent, vast, like blazing fire and sun, a light unsurpassed.
Arjuna is filled with astonishment, his hair standing on end. He bows down, hands folded, Anjali Mudra, speaking with a choked voice. It's pure visceral reaction, instinctive submission to this power.
O Lord, I see all gods within thy form. And not just gods, right? Hosts of beings, Brahma on his lotus, Lord Shiva, all the sages, divine serpents.
Everyone, all existence, contained right there in Krishna's body. All other deities, all other powers, they're just aspects within this one supreme unified source. Any idea of separate divinities just dissolves. It all points back to Krishna. All divine manifestations are part of this single, all-encompassing reality.
Then, filled with awe, his hair stood on its end. Bowing, with hands conjoined, his words did wend. O Lord, I see all gods within thy form, and Brahma, Shiva, sages through the storm, with countless arms and bellies, mouths and eyes, in infinite forms no end nor middle lies. Crowned, mace and disgust-bearing, effulgent, vast, like blazing fire and sun, a light unsurpassed.
Boundless, eternal, beyond space, beyond time, beyond number. Something that would just, break your brain trying to grasp it logically.
Yeah, that game analogy we used before back in Chapter 8. Thinking of Arjuna as a player, kind of sandboxed in a small part of reality with a limited interface. Does this divine eye vision fit with that? Is this like getting the admin password?
That's a great way to think about it. It's exactly like Lord Krishna just granted him full administrative privileges, root access to reality.
Okay.
Suddenly, he's seeing beyond his narrow player perspective. He can perceive the grand architecture of the entire creation, from the hardware right up to the operating system, the energy powering the whole game, the runtime, the code, even the logs of all previous sessions.
Wow. Like that multi-dimensional tesseract in the movie Interstellar, maybe? Where all points in space and time are visible at once.
Precisely. That gives a sense of the scale. Immeasurable light.
It demands reverence, but it sounds almost unbearable, seeing the game from the developer's chair, not the player's.
And that fundamentally changes Arjuna's whole understanding of existence.
A total paradigm shift. Let's just pause with that initial awe and the scale of it all.
Then, filled with awe, his hair stood on its end. Bowing, with hands conjoined, his words did wend. O Lord, I see all gods within thy form, and Brahma, Shiva, sages through the storm, with countless arms and bellies, mouths and eyes, in infinite forms, no end or middle lies. Crowned, mace and disgust-bearing, effulgent, vast, like blazing fire and sun, a light unsurpassed.
That shift from seeing fragments to seeing the unified whole within the divine, it unveils that deep interconnectedness, doesn't it? Makes you realize your tiny place in the grand scheme.
Humbling.
But that initial awe, it doesn't just stay as awe, does it? The sheer scale, the infinite power, it starts to become something else.
Yes, it becomes terrifying, absolutely terrifying. This next part of the vision, covering verses 11.8 through 11.25, really captures that dramatic shift. Reverence tips over into overwhelming distress and fear. The full weight just hits him.
Thou art the imperishable support of all, eternal Dharma's guardian lest it fall. The moon and sun, thy eyes a flaming mouth, thy splendor scorches all from north to south. This space twixt heaven and earth by thee alone is wholly filled, and at thy form I groan. For seeing this terrible vision, worlds are distressed, and so am I, with fear that knows no rest. Thy many mouths and eyes, thy many fangs, like cosmic fire, my inner being pangs. I lose direction, joy I cannot find. Be gracious, Lord, to my perturbed mind.
He sees the power, infinite power, countless arms. The sun and moon is his eyes, a flaming mouth whose splendor scorches the entire universe. But it's precisely that power, that scale, that starts to become unbearable. And then the turn. Seeing thy wondrous and terrifying form, the three worlds are perturbed, and so am I. He groans. The awe is now swamped by fear, deep distress. He's moved from the grandeur to the terrifying specifics.
It sounds like a psychological breaking point.
It really does. He describes the form touching the sky, luminous, multicolored, with wide-open mouths and vast blazing eyes.
He loses his bearings completely. He says he finds neither fortitude nor peace of mind. I lose direction, joy I cannot find. And those mouths, with terrible fangs resembling the fire of cosmic dissolution, they just shatter him. He's utterly perturbed, utterly distraught. Thou art the imperishable, support of all, eternal Dharma's guardian, lest it fall. The moon and sun, thy eyes, a flaming mouth, thy splendor scorches all, from north to south. This space twixt heaven and earth by thee alone is wholly filled, and at thy form I groan. For seeing this terrible vision, worlds are distressed, and so am I, with fear that knows no rest. Thy many mouths and eyes, thy many fangs, like cosmic fire, my inner being pangs. I lose direction, joy I cannot find. Be gracious, Lord, to my perturbed mind.
And here's the key insight, I think. The true, raw, unmediated power of the divine. It's simply too much for the limited human mind, the limited nervous system to handle indefinitely. Seeing reality without any filters is profoundly humbling, yes, but also overwhelming.
Which leads to his plea.
His desperate plea. Be gracious, Lord of gods, refuge of the universe, be gracious to my perturbed mind. It's too much. The human psyche needs a filter, some way to process the infinite, otherwise it breaks down.
Let's just sit with that intense shift from awe crashing into terror.
Thou art the imperishable, support of all, eternal Dharma's guardian lest it fall. The moon and sun, thy eyes, a flaming mouth, thy splendor scorches all from north to south. This space twixt heaven and earth by thee alone is wholly filled, and at thy form I groan. For seeing this terrible vision, worlds are distressed, and so am I, with fear that knows no rest. Thy many mouths and eyes, thy many fangs, like cosmic fire my inner being pangs. I lose direction, joy I cannot find. Be gracious, Lord, to my perturbed mind.
And if that wasn't intense enough, the vision then gets even more specific. It zooms right into the battlefield, the impending destruction.
Yes. This next section, verses 11.26 to 11.34, is where Krishna is revealed explicitly as Time the Destroyer. And destruction isn't just a possibility anymore. Arjuna sees it happening within the form.
Like seeing the future? Or is it more like seeing the present reality from that higher, timeless perspective?
I think it's much more like the latter, seeing it from that higher dimension where linear time doesn't constrain things in the same way.
I see Dhritarashtra's sons, with kings they stand, Bhishma, Drona, Karna, chiefs from every hand. Into thy mouths they rush with dreadful speed, like rivers to the ocean by thy decree. As moths to blazing fire they swift descend, to their destruction where all journeys end. Thou lickest, devourest the worlds with flaming jaws. Thy fierce rays scorch the universe, defying laws. Tell me, who art thou in this fearsome guise? Then Krishna spake, where truth immortal lies. I am Time, the great destroyer, mighty grown to annihilate these worlds. My will is known. Even without thy action none shall stay. Of warriors arrayed, all cease this day. Therefore arise, achieve thy glorious quest. Conquer thy foes, enjoy thy prosperous rest. By me already slain, they fall before. Be thou my instrument, and fear no more.
Arjuna sees them all, Dhritarashtra's sons, their allied kings, Bhishma, Drona, Karna, even warriors from his side, rushing headlong into thy terrifying mouths. And the detail. Some are seen stuck between his teeth with their heads crushed.
It's horrific. He's not predicting. He's seeing the preordained end already unfolding within this cosmic reality.
Exactly. The destruction is already present in this higher view. The outcome is fixed by divine will. He's witnessing a truth that transcends our usual flow of time, and the analogies he uses, chilling. Just as the many torrents of rivers inevitably flow towards the ocean, similarly, these heroes of the mortal world are entering your blazing mouths, their individual power, their resistance. It means nothing against that inevitable pull towards Krishna, the vast ocean.
Yeah.
It's destiny.
And the other analogy, moths to a flame.
Just as moths rush swiftly into a blazing fire to perish, so too are all these people rapidly entering your mouths for their destruction. Krishna is described as licking, devouring all the worlds from all sides with his flaming mouths. His fierce rays fill the entire universe with radiance, scorching it.
The ultimate consumer, the ultimate agent of dissolution. I see Dhritarashtra's sons, with kings they stand. Bhishma, Drona, Karna, chiefs from every hand. Into thy mouths they rush, with dreadful speed, like rivers to the ocean by thy decree. As moths to blazing fire they swift descend, to their destruction where all journeys end. Thou lickest, devourest the worlds with flaming jaws. Thy fierce rays scorch the universe, defying laws. Tell me, who art thou in this fearsome guise? Then Krishna spake, where truth immortal lies. I am Time, the great destroyer, mighty grown to annihilate these worlds. My will is known. Even without thy action none shall stay. Of warriors arrayed, all cease this day. Therefore arise, achieve thy glorious quest. Conquer thy foes, enjoy thy prosperous rest. By me already slain they fall before. Be thou my instrument, and fear no more. And it's this terrifying intensity that finally pushes Arjuna to ask, who are you, O Lord of fearsome form? He needs to understand, what is this reality he's seeing?
And it's arguably the most potent, most definitive statement in the entire Gita. I am Time, the great destroyer of the worlds, grown mighty, and I have come here to annihilate these worlds.
I am Time. Wow.
That's the core revelation. And he adds, crucially, even without you, none of the warriors arrayed in the opposing armies shall survive.
That must just lift that immense burden he's been carrying since chapter 1. The guilt, the responsibility for killing his own family and teachers.
Completely, it reframes everything. He's not the ultimate cause, he's merely an instrument. Nimitta mitram.
Just be the instrument.
Yes. This understanding, grounded in actually seeing cosmic destiny unfold, resolves the fundamental conflict that started the whole conversation. He's fulfilling a preordained role within the flow of time, orchestrated by the divine. He's not the one making the choice to kill in the ultimate sense.
He's playing a part written by time itself.
Therefore arise, win glory, conquer your foes, and enjoy a prosperous kingdom. By me they have already been slain. Be merely an instrument, O Savyasachin, Arjuna.
Conquer them, because I've already done it. Just be the means. Let's just allow that staggering revelation and the lifting of Arjuna's burden to sink in for a moment.
I see Dhritarashtra's sons, with kings they stand. Bhishma, Drona, Karna, chiefs from every hand. Into thy mouths they rush with dreadful speed, like rivers to the ocean by thy decree. As moths to blazing fire they swift descend, to their destruction where all journeys end. Thou lickest, devourest the worlds with flaming jaws. Thy fierce rays scorch the universe, defying laws. Tell me, who art thou in this fearsome guise? Then Krishna spake, where truth immortal lies. I am Time, the great destroyer, mighty grown to annihilate these worlds. My will is known. Even without thy action none shall stay. Of warriors arrayed, all cease this day. Therefore arise, achieve thy glorious quest. Conquer thy foes, enjoy thy prosperous rest. By me already slain they fall before. Be thou my instrument, and fear no more.
From this agonizing personal conflict to aligning with cosmic will, it brings such clarity to his purpose.
A difficult clarity, perhaps, but clarity nonetheless.
He understands his role now as an instrument. How does he respond? The terror must still be echoing, but surely something fundamental has shifted in him.
Yes, absolutely. This next part, covering verses 11.35 through 1140, shows that profound shift. The raw terror starts to blend into, well, a deep acceptance and a renewed, perhaps even deeper reverence. He's still trembling, Sanjaya tells us, but his words change.
Then trembled Arjuna with voice choked low, his crowned head bowed in reverence and woe. The world rejoices, at thy praise delighted, and fearful demons flee, by thee affrighted. Why should they not bow down, O soul so great? Thou primal God, the ancient fixing fate. Thou art the knower, knowable supreme abode. The universe by thee is wholly trod. Thou art the wind and Yama, fire and moon. 1,000 salutations, morn and noon. Before, behind, on every side I bow. Thou pervadest all, and therefore all art thou.
So the fear hasn't just vanished. The physical reaction is still there.
Right. Trembling, choked voice, bowing.
But the quality feels different now, doesn't it? Fear mixed with overwhelming reverence and acceptance.
But now it seems to acknowledge the rightness of the cosmic reaction. It's like, of course, this is how the universe should react to you.
It's fitting. He's seeing the natural order in response to the supreme. The demons flee, the perfected beings bow, it's all appropriate. He's not just scared now, he's understanding why this form evokes these reactions. And why should they not bow down to you, O Mahatma, great soul?
Right. He answers his own question.
He does. He says, you are greater even than Brahma, the original creator, the primal God, the ancient Purusha, the supreme refuge of this universe, the knower, the knowable, and the supreme abode. Krishna is the supreme, all-encompassing reality. He sees Krishna in everything, as everything.
Then trembled Arjuna, with voice choked low, his crowned head bowed in reverence and woe. The world rejoices at thy praise delighted, and fearful demons flee by thee affrighted. Why should they not bow down, O soul so great? Thou primal God, the ancient fixing fate. Thou art the knower, knowable, supreme abode. The universe by thee is wholly trod. Thou art the wind and Yama, fire and moon. 1,000 salutations, morn and noon. Before, behind, on every side I bow. Thou pervadest all, and therefore all art thou.
Which naturally leads to those repeated salutations, right? Salutations to you 1,000 times. Salutations to you from before and from behind. Salutations to you on all sides, O all. It's this overwhelming urge to just offer reverence from every possible angle, acknowledging his omnipresence.
And that final line sums it all up. You, infinite in power and limitless in prowess, pervade all, therefore you are all, Sarva.
That's the ultimate realization. Krishna is Sarva, the all-possessing, all-pervading reality. The terror has truly transformed into profound, all-encompassing reverence. The key insight is that true reverence arises from seeing that absolute, all-pervading nature, even in its destructive aspect, leading to profound acceptance of the divine order.
He's come to terms with the totality of it. Let's let that transformation resonate for a moment.
Then trembled Arjuna, with voice choked low, his crowned head bowed in reverence and woe. The world rejoices at thy praise delighted, and fearful demons flee by thee affrighted. Why should they not bow down, O soul so great? Thou, primal God, the ancient fixing fate, thou art the knower, knowable supreme abode. The universe by thee is wholly trod. Thou art the wind and Yama, fire and moon, 1,000 salutations morn and noon. Before, behind, on every side I bow. Thou pervadest all, and therefore all art thou. So he's seen the cosmic reality, he understands Krishna's absolute nature, and now, interestingly, his thoughts turn back to their previous relationship.
Yeah, the personal connection. And it's marked by this deep humility now, maybe even regret.
Definitely humility. This next section, verses 11.41 to 11.46, is Arjuna's personal apology and then his plea for Krishna to return to a gentler form. Why does he feel the need to apologize now after seeing the truth?
Whate'er I spoke, presumptuous, in jest, as Krishna Yadava friend, in sport or rest, unknowing of thy greatness by error's sway, or fond affection, pardon me, I pray. Thou art the father of the moving, unmoving sphere, the most revered guru beyond all peer. No one is equal or superior to thee. Therefore I prostrate, begging grace from thee, as father to son or friend to friend would yield. So tolerate my faults, thy mercy wield. Though joyous to behold this form unseen, my mind is greatly fearful and distraught, I ween. Show me thy former, four-armed form, O Lord of all, with crown, mace, discuss, at thy servant's call.
It's incredibly personal, this part, isn't it? He's basically saying, look, whatever I said carelessly, thinking of you as just my friend. He worries he might have been disrespectful, maybe teasing during games or while relaxing together.
Right, treating the Lord of the universe like his buddy.
Exactly. He attributes it to either carelessness or maybe just affection, but crucially, unknowing of this greatness that he's just witnessed. He asks forgiveness for any disrespect shown in jest, whether they were alone or in company playing, resting, sitting, eating together. It really shows how radically his perspective has shifted. Even those intimate, friendly moments are now seen through this new lens of divine truth.
His best friend, his chariot driver, turns out to be the supreme being. That's a massive recalibration. Whate'er I spoke, presumptuous in jest, as Krishna Yadava friend, in sport or rest, unknowing of thy greatness by error's sway, or fond affection, pardon me, I pray. Thou art the father of the moving, unmoving sphere, the most revered guru beyond all peer. No one is equal or superior to thee. Therefore I prostrate, begging grace from thee, as father to son or friend to friend would yield. So tolerate my faults, thy mercy wield. Though joyous to behold this form unseen, my mind is greatly fearful and distraught, I ween. Show me thy former four-armed form, O Lord of all, with crown, mace, discuss, at thy servant's call.
You are the father of the world, of the moving and the unmoving. You are its venerable, most revered guru. And then the clincher. There is no one equal to you. How then could there be anyone superior to you in the three world, a lord of incomparable power? But my mind is also greatly agitated with fear, joy and terror side by side. Why is the truth, even glorious truth, still so overwhelming that he needs to ask for the gentler form back?
Because it is overwhelming. The human mind, the human nervous system, it just isn't built to sustain that level of infinite, raw, unfiltered reality indefinitely. He needs peace. He needs composure to function.
Therefore, please show me that previous form of yours, O Lord of gods, refuge of the universe. He wants to see the four-armed form again, with crown, mace, and discus in hand. The key insight here is that while the universal form is glorious, the human psyche has limits. It needs a return to a comprehensible form for emotional and mental stability, and Krishna's willingness to do this shows his immense compassion.
That need for a comprehensible form, it makes perfect sense. Let's listen to that powerful plea again, reflecting on Arjuna's profound shift in understanding and relationship.
Whate'er I spoke, presumptuous in jest, as Krishna Yadava, friend in sport or rest, unknowing of thy greatness by error's sway, or fond affection, pardon me, I pray. Thou art the father of the moving, unmoving sphere, the most revered guru beyond all peer. No one is equal or superior to thee, therefore I prostrate, begging grace from thee, as father to son or friend to friend would yield, so tolerate my faults, thy mercy wield. Though joyous to behold this form unseen, my mind is greatly fearful and distraught, I ween. Show me thy former four-armed form, O Lord of all, with crown, mace, discuss at thy servant's call.
And now, finally, Krishna's compassionate response. He offers reassurance and, crucially, gives the ultimate instruction on how one actually attains this divine reality. This last stanza wraps it all up, covering verses 11.47 to 11.55. It reveals the path forward. Unwavering devotion. Lord Krishna then, his grace supreme displayed, this form by none but thee has been surveyed. Not through Vedic lore, nor rites, nor charity's hand, or severe austerities throughout the land. Be not distressed by my awe-inspiring sight, be free from fear, and view my form of light. Then Sanjaya declared, the Lord divine, resumed his gentle form, a solace benign. Now seeing thy serene human face, Arjuna said, my mind is composed, its natural state has bred. Krishna then concluded, grave and clear, this form thou seen is exceedingly hard to bear. Even gods forever long for such a view. Not by study, penance can I be known true. Only through unwavering and devotion, pure and deep, can I be truly known, seen, and attained in grace I keep.
Who acts for me, with me his goal supreme, my unswerving devotee from attachment free, without enmity to beings that one attains me.
He says, Arjuna, being pleased with you, I have shown you, through my own yogic power, this supreme, radiant, universal, infinite, primeval form of mine, which has never been seen before by anyone other than you. And he emphasizes that this form cannot be seen through the study of the Vedas, nor by sacrifices, nor by charity, nor by rituals, nor by severe austerities in the way Arjuna has seen it.
So it wasn't something Arjuna earned through his practices or knowledge.
Exactly. It was purely an act of divine favor, grace, Atma Yoga, his own power. The insight is critical. The deepest spiritual breakthroughs often come as gifts of divine grace, not just as wages earned through effort or ritual.
That's profound.
Lord Krishna then, his grace supreme displayed, this form by none but thee has been surveyed, not through Vedic lore, nor rites, nor charity's hand, nor severe austerities throughout the land. Be not distressed by my awe-inspiring sight. Be free from fear and view my form of light. Then Sanjaya declared, the Lord divine, resumed his gentle form, a solace benign. Now seeing thy serene human face, Arjuna said, my mind is composed, its natural state has bred. Krishna then concluded, grave and clear, this form thou seen is exceedingly hard to bear. Even gods forever long for such a view. Not by study, penance can I be known true. Only through unwavering Ananya devotion, pure and deep, can I be truly known, seen, and attained in grace I keep. Who acts for me, with me, his goal supreme, my unswerving devotee from attachment free, without enmity to beings that one attains me.
And Sanjaya confirms it happened, right?
Yes. Sanjaya says, having spoken thus to Arjuna, Vasudeva, Krishna, showed his own form again. And the Mahatma, assuming his gentle human form, consoled him who was terrified. That return to the familiar, the human shape, is key for Arjuna's sanity.
Arjuna said, seeing this gentle human form of yours, O Janardana, Krishna, I have now become composed in mind and am restored to my natural state. Peace returns.
But Krishna doesn't just stop there. He drives home the lesson. He repeats how rare this vision is. This form of mine, which you have seen, is very difficult to behold. Even the gods are ever longing to see this form, and stresses again, neither by the Vedas, nor by austerity, nor by charity, nor by sacrifice can I be seen in this manner, as you have seen me.
Okay, so if none of those traditional paths, study, austerity, charity, ritual, are enough to see this ultimate reality, how does one truly know, see, and attain the divine in this way? What is the actual path?
But by unwavering devotion, Ananya Bhakti, O Arjuna, I can be known in this form, seen truly, and entered into, O Pratapa, scorcher of foes.
Unwavering devotion, Ananya Bhakti, what exactly does that mean? Singular focus.
Yes, exactly. Ananya means no other. Devotion focused solely on him, without distraction, without remembrance of any other deity or goal. Total, single-pointed dedication of the heart and mind. Only through that kind of devotion, Krishna says, can he be known like this, seen truly, and ultimately entered into meaning union or liberation.
So it's not primarily intellect, not austerity, but that singular, focused love and devotion. That's the key.
That's the core insight. True spiritual realization, the deepest connection, comes through that unwavering focus of the heart, that profound personal relationship born of pure devotion.
Okay, so What does this unwavering devotion actually look like in practice, in daily life? Krishna gives those 5 essential qualities in the very last verse, 11.5, right? Can you walk us through those, especially that idea of being free from attachment? What does that really mean?
Absolutely. Verse 11.55 is the practical blueprint. The 5 qualities of the devotee who attains Krishna. First, who acts for me, mat karmakrit. This means performing all actions as an offering to Krishna, doing your work, your duty, as service without being attached to the results or fruits of the action.
Action is offering, karma yoga, essentially. Got it.
Second, with me as his goal supreme, mat parama, making Krishna the ultimate aim, the highest purpose and refuge of your life. Everything is oriented towards him.
It's the supreme goal. Clear.
Third, my devotee, madbhakta. This just reinforces that core requirement, singular, unwavering devotion specifically to him.
Unwavering devotion, right?
Fourth, free from attachment, Sangha Varajita. This is a really important one. Sangha means association or attachment. Varjita means free from or devoid of. So it means being free from detrimental attachments, especially unhealthy clinging or excessive emotional entanglement with worldly relationships, objects, status, or outcomes that distract you from the spiritual path.
So it doesn't mean becoming a hermit, avoiding people.
No, not necessarily at all. The Gita doesn't advocate isolation. In fact, beneficial association, satsang, with spiritually minded people is often encouraged. The problem isn't association itself, but attachment. The unhealthy clinging, the dependency, the possessiveness, the ego-driven connections that cloud judgment and bind you to the material world. It's about cultivating inner detachment, being in the world but not of it. Freedom from the illusions and bondage created by attachment.
Okay. Detachment from unhealthy bonds and clinging, not detachment from life itself. Freedom from entanglement. That makes sense.
Precisely. That's the insight. And finally, fifth, without enmity towards any being. Nirvaira sarvabhuteshu. This means harboring no ill will, no hatred, no malice towards any creature, practicing universal friendliness, compassion, seeing the divine spark in everyone, even those you might perceive as enemies.
Wow. So dedicated action is offering Krishna's supreme goal, unwavering devotion, freedom from harmful attachment, and universal friendliness or non-enmity. That's quite a comprehensive path.
It is. And notice how it brings that overwhelming, almost abstract cosmic vision right down to earth, doesn't it? It provides a very practical blueprint for how to live, how to act, how to relate to others, day by day, moment by moment, all centered on that unwavering devotion.
It really does. It connects the highest mystical experience directly to our everyday conduct and inner attitude.
That's the key insight of this final verse. Krishna provides a tangible, actionable path to that ultimate realization. It shows that the profoundest spiritual truth isn't separate from life. It's expressed through dedicated, detached action, universal compassion, and love in our daily lives.
What an incredibly powerful conclusion, tying the vision to the way we live. Let's hear that final stanza one last time, letting the weight and guidance of that path sink in.
Lord Krishna then, his grace supreme displayed, this form by none but thee has been surveyed. Not through Vedic lore, nor rites, nor charity's hand, nor severe austerities throughout the land. Be not distressed by my awe-inspiring sight. Be free from fear and view my form of light. Then Sanjaya declared, the Lord Divine resumed his gentle form, a solace benign. Now seeing thy serene human face, Arjuna said, my mind is composed, its natural state has bred. Krishna then concluded, grave and clear, this form thou'st seen is exceedingly hard to bear, even gods forever long for such a view. Not by study, penance can I be known true, only through unwavering Ananyan devotion, pure and deep, can I be truly known, seen, and attained in grace I keep. Who acts for me, with me his goal supreme, my unswerving devotee, from attachment free, without enmity to beings that one attains me.
That practical blueprint. It transforms the whole experience, doesn't it? From something perhaps unattainable to concrete steps for living, proving that real devotion unfolds in the tapestry of our actions and relationships.
Beautifully put.
What a chapter. Just truly extraordinary. From that initial desperate plea for direct sight,
To the absolutely mind-shattering universal form.
through the terrifying vision of destruction, the ultimate clarity about time.
And finally, landing right here on this clear, practical path of unwavering devotion, right action, non-attachment, and love. Chapter 11 really is a peak experience in the Gita.
It certainly is. We really hope this journey through it has been illuminating for you, our listener. It's always a privilege for us to revisit these profound words. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Yes, thank you sincerely for listening, for engaging with this timeless, powerful wisdom.
Now, maybe just a final thought for you to take away, something to ponder. If Krishna, as he shows, is this all-encompassing conscious divine reality, the seed within everything, could it be that we each hold a kind of cosmic singularity within ourselves? Could looking at the universal form, in a way, be like gaining access to our own inner black hole of consciousness, touching an ultimate truth that already resides deep within us?
That's a deep reflection to carry. Something to really mull over. If you found this episode valuable, please do consider subscribing if you haven't already.
And maybe share it with others, who might appreciate this kind of conversation about timeless knowledge and its relevance today.
Thank you again for being with us on this journey.
Om Tat Sat.